Welcome back, kids. Another day, another Dubai based feminist who has nothing but hate to spew on the internet. So, there is this influencer called Sonam Pirani or something who lives in Dubai, who is very privileged, who is coming from a very well background, who is just a content creator and thinks of herself to be an influencer in a way that she believes her takes matter, right? आज we will look at her take. Then I'll justify why I'm this like amused at the very least. ठीक है with what she has to say. एक बार वीडियो देखते हैं.
There's this whole new trend online that women are staying single and men can't find partners, and everyone's acting like it's some big mystery. I think it's super simple. Women are leveling up, building careers, going to therapy, setting boundaries, healing from childhood traumas, and men still emotionally unavailable, still allergic to communication, and still cannot deal with when a woman asks more than just bare minimum effort. Everyone's asking women to actually shrink and lower their standards, but why is no one asking men to level up? No one asking men to actually meet the standards that the women have. There's this whole
Okay, great video. Very well done, very well said. Now, first of all, I would like to hear your opinion on the comment section before I speak my mind. So just pause this video, present your own opinions. If you think this is fine, if you think this is not, just let me know. Okay? Coming back to my take. I'm going to need my emotional support cat to get through this because this is so tone deaf, so not understanding the assignment kind of a take. ठीक है. So first of all, the thing that she mentions is कि there is this whole new thing about the male loneliness epidemic जो अभी there is a good chatter on the internet about this thing. So let's talk about that first, then we will talk about everything else that she has to say. When you say that this, of course, fictional male loneliness epidemic, there is nothing as an epidemic at this point. We are just overhyping this, and we understand that, but men are lonely, right? Now, women on the internet clearly mention and blatantly mention that this is all men's fault. Okay, why? It's because of the patriarchy that we live in and the standards that we have set and the way that we behave and the way that we approach someone when we are dating falana dimkana. So these are the complaints of women when we talk about male loneliness epidemic. But you need to also understand that what you're mentioning is valid, 100% valid. But that is the male loser epidemic that's going on the entire world for generations right now. Okay? That has nothing to do with the actual loneliness quotient of men. When we talk about the male loser epidemic, we have a ton of men who are genuine losers, who do not have their own opinions, whose opinions come from the internet, whose opinions come from people like Andrew Tate, people like this who are super into the alpha male community, right? That's stupid. That's a very stupid way of living. That's a very stupid person that you are as a man, because no woman will respect you when you are such an incel, right? I get that point. I'm with her with this point. But when we talk about loneliness, we talk about the fact that hundreds of men die by hanging themselves on the daily basis. And that's not because how toxic men are, it's because how lonely they are, how they have nobody to talk to, how they have absolutely no emotional support, how they have no companionship, how they are getting isolated even more in this generation where everything is on the internet and there is no actual real friendship or connection. So this is the reality of men today, right? This is what we say when we mean, matlab, this is what we mean when we say the male loneliness epidemic. It's the depression that it comes with, it's the loneliness that it comes with, it's the anxiety that it comes with, it's the stress of not being enough for people around you who you thought are your friends. That this is the main point, right? It has nothing to do with women as a whole, the entire talk of male loneliness epidemic, right? It has everything to do with a man and how men have been lonely. They do not share their emotions and they do not feel like they have an outlet. That's the male loneliness epidemic, quote unquote, right? Even if it's real. Me being a therapist, I would like to mention this point जहाँ पे ये कह रही थी मैडम कि हम लोग women to grow so much, women to focus on growth, women to focus on their career, women to focus, they go to therapy. I have hundreds probably of DMs of men who want therapy from me. I'm not practicing right now. I'm focusing on this. I'm focusing on other career जो मेरे community वाले लोग हैं उन्हें पता है. But if you open my DM, you will see hundreds of people who just want somebody to talk to. That's a man. मतलब the person that is a man. Right? So men are going to therapy. Men are making the first step. Men are trying to do better. But what's setting us back is this arrogance. Right? Imagine there is something like the male loneliness epidemic, and you just say कि men are lonely because men have been a part of patriarchy and it's their own fault. ठीक है? Now let me reverse that statement and let me say this very clearly. Women have anxiety because and they cannot have companionship and they cannot sustain marriages because of this attitude that they have. See how sexist that sounds. That sounds very bad, and it can be vice versa, right? But the problem comes in where the entire community of feminists, the entire community of leftists just get into this filth of hate where they do not have an open mind. These are supposed to be the most tolerant people. These are supposed to be the most endearing and accepting people on the entire world, I think. These who claim to be the left, who claim to be the feminists, who claim to be coming from a place of love, struggle, and want to be growth. But these are the most arrogant, these are the most vile and unbearable, basically, people on the internet, right? Be it her, be it Wizard Liz, be it Awkward Goat, be it Rida, be it Apurva. These few women, I have seen some more as well, जो मैं mention ना तो मैं करना चाहता हूँ ना तो मुझे फर्क पड़ता है उन लोगों के बारे में, who just spew hate on the internet and they consider themselves to be influencers. So you need to get off this veil, you need to take this veil off these influencers and understand the true essence behind what they're trying to say is that they hate men, and that's it. They do not have an opinion without mentioning a man in their content, and they just make up stories and they just make up opinions on the fly, and they call that a video, which influences people to the point that they will go to lengths in the comment section to defend them or call anybody else an incel if they even disagree with them for the slightest bit. ठीक है, एक बार वीडियो को फिर से देखते हैं. Let's break it down. Let's talk about why this is hilarious.
There's this whole new trend online that women are staying single and men can't find partners, and
This whole new trend on the internet that women are staying single and men can't find partner is bullshit because first of all, that's not how relationships work. If women are staying single, okay, that's their choices, but I don't think men are so desperate as to just go on and on and on and on for that one girl who just does not want a relationship. There are options, and there are plenty of options, right? So that's, first of all, that's bullshit, and second of all, this entire male loneliness epidemic is also, it's an idea, but it's not the reality. We men, no matter me being a therapist, I have to say this, that we men have exposed our emotions on the internet way too much for people like these to exploit those emotions. Chup ho ja mere bhai. Thank you. This cat wants to wreck my chair. This cat wants to wreck my video. This cat does not want me to talk about feminists. And even I don't want to talk about feminists, but these people just piss me off, right? Not even piss me off. It's amusing at this point. It's hilarious at this point. So, moving on. This entire thing of sharing your emotions on the internet is not needed anymore. Just keep things to yourself. Do not let people like these exploit what you have to say on the internet. आगे देखते हैं. रुक जा.
everyone's acting like it's some big mystery. I think it's super simple. Women are leveling up, building careers, going to therapy, setting boundaries, healing from childhood traumas, and men still emotionally unavailable, still allergic to communication.
and men still emotionally unavailable, still and जो भी फलाना ढिमकाना. This is such a toddler take. This is such like जो शादी में आके पकोड़ों के बारे में bitching करती है, that this is that take. This is not having any grasp on the reality. This is being privileged so much to the point that you do not even know what goes on beyond your five friends ka circle. You think you are in the dating pool, but I don't think anybody wants this person with this Squidward looking face. But then you think that your opinions matter so much because you come from that privilege of not knowing what reality is at all. You just know your five friends and that's it. That's reality for you.
And still cannot deal with when a woman asks more than just bare minimum effort. Everyone's asking.
To be very honest, if you are in a relationship and you are a man, I believe in the good, and I believe that men go beyond everything to be with their women, right? I have this perspective in my mind that I can deal with any other loss in my life, but if something happens to my girl, that's it for me, right? So, this is how actual reality looks like. This is how real love looks like. This is how real relationships look like. This is how real men look like. They are not the ones cheating at a Coldplay concert. These are the real men are the ones, and I'm going to flag a lot of boys who think that they are men, who they are not, because they go on and cheat on their partners, because they go on and make these images in these people's head about who we are, but we are not that. Real men care about their families, real men care about their girls, real men care about their relationships. These are the people who we need more examples of, but you will always see the negative in a community and spew hate on them. That's just human nature, I guess.
Women to actually shrink and lower their standards, but why?
Nobody's asking women to shrink and lower their standards. This is not 1990s. Grow up. Look around. Look at the reality of today. Look at where we are as a society. We may think that we have shrunk and we have degraded and we have devolved, but look, compare yourself to your previous generation and you'll understand the privilege that you're standing on, and the way that we want women to succeed in this world. We genuinely want that. We want all the best for our fellow women. But you will not see that. You will not be faced with these things. You will not see the support that women get. You will see few patriarchs who are the bad apples, and they are still maintaining their traditional orthodox image in this society, and they are making us look bad. But the reality is not the same as our previous generation. Chalo bhai.
Is no one asking men to level up? No one asking men to actually meet the standards.
If you are a compassionate partner, if you have empathy with your partner, if you understand where men are in today's society, you will see that it's fine. It's not as bad as you're making it out to be. That's my point. So it's a dumb take from a very like horse eye lens, and you're privileged, and it shows. You do not have friends, and it shows. You have five friends who you based your entire personality out of and your opinions from, and it shows. The moment these people come to your algorithm, block them. If you don't like my opinions, if you think I am suppressing you, block me. But do not fall for the negativity. Do not fall for the divide. Do not fall for the comparison. Nobody is doing bad in their lives. They're all trying to grow. They're all trying to meet standards. They're all trying to do better. And I can vouch for that. Right? So it's fine. The world is not as bad as these people want you to believe it to be. You do not have to break off your relationships because of this. You do not have to break off your friendships because of this. Just be aware of such influencers who think that they are above you and they know better, which they don't. And if you're someone who's struggling with this loneliness epidemic that you talk about, feel free to reach out to actual therapists. Do not listen to these people. These are the ones who will discourage you to the point that they won't mind if you end up not being here anymore, right? So just take it easy. It's fine. Life is not that bad. Take one step at a time, focus on yourself, and get help. That's all I had to say for this video. मिलते हैं अगले वीडियो में.